are at the Shelby Museum. It's kind of windy out here, so hopefully you can hear me. I gotta talk kind of loud, but yeah, we're gonna check out some of the cars in here and see what they got. It's a really nice day out. It's just really windy. There's there's like a Corona place over there. Let's see what we can get into here. That is insane. It's a cool table. It's a really cool table. So this is where all the cars are. Shelby's.
Focus in sports car racing with thermal motors, specifically for
It's a really cool car. Just look at that way that radiator, and then they got the little oil cooler down there. This is the craziest chrome Shelby I've ever seen. Just that big old, it's like a bass mouth on the front of this bad boy. I love the way they did the brushed with the polished stripe, or the polished with the brush stripe. It's really cool how they did that. If you drove that out here in Nevada, you'd be needing sunglasses just looking at it. And this is interesting. Got a gold Shelby. Or brass. I guess that's kind of like a gold. Almost looks brass in a way. Very interesting. It's very cool. Got a Bill Cosby record down there. Man, just would love to have that GT350, man. Very cool. I love the way they do the headlights on these cars. It's very cool. Yeah, back in these days, they built cars with style. And then we got another GT350, or this is a GT500. It's so clean. This is a GT500 KR. Very subtle differences between the regular 500 and this one. Very, very subtle. You can see it's got a marker light on the front, whereas that one doesn't. It's also got a chrome rocker panel versus the other one doesn't have that. So it's more trim on this version. It's a 428 Cobra. It's pretty cool. And the color on this is amazing. Camera doesn't really pick up that deep green. It's a EXP 500. I never seen one like that with that model. But it's got the cloth covered roof on it. You can tell cars back in those days were not safe. They ain't got no headrests. It's just a little basic seat. And I love the way that they do the hood pins on these cars. It's like you gotta have it with the hood pins. This is probably not one of my favorite ones. I'm not a fan of the convertible. And then we got this bad boy right there. Now that is a mean car. It's got some meats on the back tires there. Big tires. More modern day. GT500 pace car. Shelby GT, I think there's a 500 Super Snake. So this is what it would look like if you get all the Shelby Super Snake package on it. It's got the lower splitter, big old wing on the back. It's also got the hood pins, but it's just the poppers, which is really nice. Here's a more basic GT500, but it's got a carbon fiber. It's got the wet carbon down there. It's really cool. This thing looks mean though. Very cool. Now this is different. You don't normally see a Mustang with the hood coming up like a Corvette. But it's got a looks like a Coyote engine. Maybe heavily modified Coyote engine. This Shelby is available for purchase. So this looks like one of the track cars that they used to rent. I'm not too positive about that, but it says and this one, it's got some really nice wheels on it. Very cool wheels. Deep blue. Like it looks like it's got layers of blue. It's got some big meats on the back too. There's another Super Snake. Get the whole thing in the frame there. This one just screams race car. It's very cool how they did the vents on the hood. It's very cool. Oh, the stripe. I like how they did the matte stripe. It's a very nice touch. Having the stripes there. Pretty nice wheels. These are really cool. Very nice. Nice wheels. I like the color on this one. The camera doesn't pick it up, but it's got a little bit of metal flake in it. So you can barely see it. Got some real nice aluminum wheels. Like unpolished, which is cool. Then you got the polished version. I like this one. Of course, I'm more of a 5-spoke guy, so I like the 5 spokes. It's very cool. Shift knobs. Gimbal's going crazy right now. Probably hard to read a lot of that. This thing is really cool though. I like how they do the visors. They're just plexiglass, tinted plexi. Keep it light. This is as old school as you could get with a convertible. You can see where the top snaps in. The paint, it's nice deep paint. Kind of, man, these cars just look like they have layers to them. You can almost see how it's just dark in some light, and then it's real light in some areas. Real nice paint. Very cool paint job. So this is like kind of the options this car has. I don't know if you can read that. $119,000. This just kind of tells a life about Carroll Shelby. Yeah, that's the inside of the Shelby Museum.
Many years ago, Carroll made a
Very cool place.
If anybody in the Shelby American team ever upgrades the upholstery in this car, they're going to look for a new job the next morning. So in 54 years, nobody is there to touch it, and it is the way it was. That is really part of the aura of CSX 2000. It is as original as you can get.
There's like a Carroll Shelby Spirit Award. I love this table though. It's really cool. I want to build something kind of like that. Be a good conversation piece when someone walks in your house. It's like it's got gauges all over it. It's very cool. It's got the whole engine block down here. Whoever made this is creative as hell, man. I mean, like, it's just massive. Massive table. I love how it's got the gauges though. That'd be kind of cool to like make it so that they actually function. Like you can flick a little switch and watch the gauges move around or something. That'd be kind of cool. That's the world first Carroll Shelby engine table. I love these light bulbs, the old school style tubes. Piston heads or pistons. And this is the shop. So you can either buy one of these cars here straight from the shop, or you could bring your own in and have them install you know, any kind of modification you like for it. We're gonna go in there and do the tour. They got like stuff like Raptors. Very cool place. It's interesting that you can go on a tour in there. You can go and see how they're putting the parts together. It's a massive shop though.
Come in. How many will be in your party?
3.
One more right there.
So this is the inside of the shop
You're
here.
welcome to where all the magic happens. I'll leave you alone for the first 5 minutes. Marshals, put your name on the wall, make it a Facebook type of moment. Take the picture, we do some history, then we'll make a long loop around the building. I'll be pointing everything out that we do. At 2:30, you're going to become very religious. Can't be helped. Why? Because at 2:30 is when we get off work and then go like hell through that door. It's a very religious moment. So y'all look around for the next 5 minutes. I'm going to leave you alone and we'll get started.
Okay.
Take the markers, put your name on the wall.
See where we can try to sign it at. There's a good spot. There is signatures everywhere. There's a good spot. Jeez, I don't know how they got up there, but there's a good spot. Dang. So I think I'm gonna sign this right here. There we go. Kick ass 420. Right on the Shelby wall there.
We will take over the Ferrari empire. He has something you, sir, will never have. He has a pleasant personality. Mr. Ferrari, you're a jerk about all this stuff. But, sir, You love your son Dino. Dino is the best son you can possibly have. Dino is dying slowly in front of you. Dino has either multiple sclerosis or muscular dystrophy. The doctors do everything they can. They say to you, your son will pass. There's nothing we can do. The son will pass before the father. It's a brutal emotion. I got my dates down correctly. The son will pass on a Saturday. He's got one good day left. On Friday, he says to his dad, I'm going to see the Lord. It's time for me to go. The son took it very bravely. The rest of Mr. Ferrari's life, he never really gets over this. Mr. Ferrari, if you're sitting at your desk, people look over your right shoulder, there'll be a picture of your son, Dino. His name, one of your greatest cars, the Dino. He started to finally go to the V6 because that's what Dino was doing. They were brilliant cars. And if you can, you will visit your son's grave sometimes 3 times a day. He's buried on the site. And Mr. Shelby, it's about this time you're in Europe, you're a nobody. You're way down there on the power team. He's the top of it. But you're possibly a great race driver. So you send a message, maybe there's a racing position open. There wasn't. You didn't like his cowboy hat, you didn't like his boots. Plus he had the audacity to change some of the Ferraris that he bought. Your best friend in Europe is a gentleman named Luigi Musso. And Mr. Musso and Mr. Shelby party like there's no internet. This is the best way to party. They party in Paris, they party in Rome. Your friend Luigi races for Enzo Ferrari. You say, get away from the old man, it never goes good. He says, no, race for Ferrari is an honor. You send a message, maybe there's a position. Before you can respond, your friend has a terrible crash and a horrible death. You will blame it on Ferrari for the rest of your life. Nobody says no to Ferrari. You get a chance to meet him, you're very brash Texan. What do you say to him, sir?
Is this one? Oh man, how much are you going to pay me to race your car?
It is purely an honor to race for Ferrari.
He didn't hear you, Mr. Shelby. Ask him again.
Oh man, how much are you going to pay me for to race your car?
It is purely an honor to race for Ferrari.
Say again.
Again, sir.
Oh man, how much are you going to pay me to race your car?
It is purely an honor to race for Ferrari.
Both barrels, Mr. Shelby. Let him have a few of those last 3 words.
Say all things. Oh man, I will build my own cars and come back and kick your ass.
Kick your ass. And that's where it starts. Now, the meetings were pretty close together, but you sent 3 separate messages. They say 2, possibly 3. I'm going to go with 3. You're a man, you didn't like his cowboy hat, didn't like his boots, didn't like him. After the 3rd time, you said enough. You're angry. And what are you going to do? You're going to come back in?
You're racing, you know.
Kick his ass. That's important.
Now, like your hat.
If you were Henry Ford in 63, you send a message, I want to purchase your company. You say no, and when you say no, what do you say, sir?
Tell Henry Ford my cars are not for sale to a man who makes fat, ugly cars.
Mr. Ford, this is what you say. Say it loudly, sir. What's your response to
If we
me?
can't buy the old man's cars, we'll build our own and kick your ass.
Everybody wants to kick your ass. What the hell's wrong with you? You better watch a lot of Dr. Phil and straighten up. And this is where the greatest racing rivalry threesome happens. And Mr. Ferrari, you're the king. Everybody wants to take the king down, but you had gotten him really upset and him really upset. He's got something you ain't got. Millions of dollars. He's going to spend it like a drunken sailor on leave. And you got the anger to prove that you're the best. It is the greatest racing decade ever. Ford, Ferrari, first half was all you, second half was all you. Greatest racing decade ever. So what we're going to do now, you got a little bit of history on it. You have a stunningly beautiful Italian wife, and we'll talk about her for you. So if y'all want to, you can leave your paperwork here. But let me show you one other thing, and this is going to be on Facebook. I want you to see it. What we do here.
Oh, that's awesome.
This is our most previous supercar. This is the Blue Hornet. Now it's done with the color scheme of the Blue Angels. It's going to be the giveaway car. This is something you need to Google. It's going to be the giveaway car for the Kansas City Air Show for July of this year.
Oh, wow.
It was all built here. Now look at the faces. You can get to see some of these guys. These are the technicians, the minds that put these cars together. Just have an idea what they look like when you see their faces out there. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get started. Come this way. We'll wait for Here. You say it's time. No, it's not time for that. You gotta move to Texas. Why? Because California makes everything almost impossible. You want to buy a Shelby Super Snake, don't you?
Yep.
Hell, you got to take the Texas test. Say hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell
Alright,
yeah.
Texas, perfect. You go down to your Ford dealership, you say, where's my Shelby? He says, come back in 5 weeks. The reason I don't want to talk about California is because they have a different standard for superchargers. You cannot buy a supercharged vehicle at the lot. It has to come off what they call a full final upgrade, which means it makes 2 trips here. Texas doesn't feel that. So you go down to your Texas dealer, come back in 5 weeks, and they'll have your vehicle. You say you want this one or a blue coupe. If you wanted this one, you have big those brakes on.
Oh yeah.
We believe if our brakes had been on the Titanic, it never would have hit that iceberg. If you look here, the brakes, got a different grill to get the air in, then get the air out. Cut away the F-150, put the word Shelby there, that's actually an air exit. It even has an angulation to get the air out that much faster. The engine's 770 horsepower. Doesn't matter how fast it goes unless it feels good. You gotta look at this if you would. Don't sit in it. We're gonna put you in another vehicle to see that. It's a gorgeous interior right there.
What year's the truck?
This is a 17, I think. If you look at the suspension, you're going to see the leaf springs are underneath the axle, which makes it a race truck. You're not going to take the hogs and slaughter with this.
It's got
Guys will say, we're as fast as anything else here. It's only in the curves that we start to lose it. Now with the YouTube fellas and y'all, I want you to see that something is very unique. I believe I'm saying everything right on the bottom. Look at our exhaust right here. Really, you see in the middle of the vehicle. This is the Borla exhaust. Yeah. And we put them here to make the airflow better. We don't put anything on to make it look good. It's got to have a enhancing development. What is this development? Borla and Shelby have agreed to one sound. It's going to be a Shelby with the Borla exhaust. It's much copyrighted. Only the Shelby can have the sound. We sent the soundtrack to them from the 60s. They made their sound come around to that soundtrack. It's a copyrighted sound.
Oh wow.
You
That's
might
cool.
say it's a sound relationship. Now we'll swing around this way.
Wow.
We've also added a different hood to get the air in and out. Magnificent vehicle. The airflow here is going to be different also. Plus the nose is different.
So you changed the seats and everything.
Now the seats will come in, we'll take the covers off and use the frame and we'll put all our different seats on. We're going to see that. We added the splitter on the bottom. We'll find another front end of a Super Snake, but our Super Snake front end is a different gear. Maybe you get the seat and the brakes on this get a massive brake. Come on here with this one. We do 120 miles an hour better than anybody. Ford does 120 and less, we do 120 and better. Air hits it. At 140, it's different than 40 miles an hour. So we have to take as many of the variables out. Then started with going like this too much. So with our front end of each design, takes this away. Only 7 degrees difference temperature between above the hood and below the hood. It's wicked fast and it should be for a reason. But you'll notice there's no seats in it. We have to stay this side of the red line, sir. I'm sorry. Now, no seats in it because the upholstery guys get the seats, take them out, and start to fix them up. You don't need the seats if it's sitting here. It's about 2 weeks here, maybe 2.5, and it goes to the other side for the inspection. The inspector, you'll see that in just a few minutes. Now, this one here, I don't know how many people on YouTube believe in reincarnation, but we do. Why? Because when we ever get this one finished, and it starts up, we truly expect Mr. Shelby to rise from the grave, come through the door and say, what the hell took you all so long? And look at this one into the other. I believe I've counted 10 leaf springs in the past with this one.
Wow.
Look at all the suspension upgrades there.
Wow.
If you look up here, the way the cage is for the Baja, it's going to push the LED lights up. There's a hydraulic pump, push it back. If you wanted to drive 50 miles an hour in reverse, it's just as good at night run in reverse as you would if you were going to the front. This one's already smoking far, so I'm not going to let y'all sit in it. But they come here kind of regularly. This Trinchero gets lots of work done here. Beautiful interior, beautiful seating system here. Here's the number 300,000. Here's something on that.
Look at these wheels. Look at those.
You're going to see something else that is our bicycles. This is a great example of our front end designed by the gentleman who walked through Peninsula Violin. Blocked off on the side, blocked off there, and on the top gives it down force, pushes it down. 7 degrees difference temperature. You see how the air gets out of it. It's a little bit different with it, but I believe it's still a 2.9. This one's not been wide-bodied, and the seats are already back into it. So this will be here just a few more days. Now this gentleman here, Garris, this is pretty much, he'll do 2 cars at a time. Sometimes he'll be the only one that's working.
Wow.
Occasionally, moving a bulky item such as a hood, you will need 2 people, but for the most part, 1 person can do everything.
Wow.
And same thing on the exhaust.
It's the older one.
Gentlemen, probably don't have great gifts with women like I don't have. You might have one in your life. You're going to want a car like this, and she's going to say, there's no way. And here's what you say to her. Look inside here. What do you see, sir?
The back?
Oh wow. It's got a
roll cage.
whole
She says, what do we
cage.
need that for? And you say, baby, it's a great place to stack the groceries. They'll go, no place. She'll say, yeah, that's a great idea. But what we have here is one of our prototype vehicles. We have 3 of them. We take them to the tracks. Vince and Gary will give you the rides on them. And that's what this one's for here. Showing off some of the things we do. The engine's really beefed up. Let's let this guy get by it.
Go this way. Parts truck. That used to be my job back in the day. Deliver parts.
So now when she says no, tell her why. We want to do that straight from the edge. And this one's getting worked on by beefed up the cooling system, beefed up the engine, and once in a while all the parts will go back on. And when the parts come off, they will have a happy ending. We'll talk about that just a few minutes. You're going to see the sixth one right here. Sixth is an exclusive rental company. They own the top of the line guys. They bought about, I think, 20 of them a few years ago. They get their miles on them.
So you said there's 25 of these?
I'm not sure how many, don't quote me on that, but I want to say about 20.
20?
The one that's in there, the convertible, the owner of the company had it, never got married. The number I told was
Wow. Very limited. Very limited production of that one.
They got, but they also rented Porsches and Ferraris also.
I like it. The giant colors.
That one's a giant skittle right there.
You can see how this air is going to be different than ours.
Yeah.
This is Garrison, this is Oscar's vehicle. I get a kick out of this. I want a roll cage so bad as we do it here. Doesn't that look bad as can be? And I got a kick out of watching these guys put it in just a few minutes ago.
It's crazy.
There's something cool about having a roll cage. I'm trying to say something not very tacky, but I always do. If you got a roll cage, it's just your way of saying badass and stay simple the rest of the time.
Pretty much it, you know, right?
Arrow, man.
So the hair is just focused on one side here?
Well, for whatever reason, this is the 350 or 500 RF, so I'm going to say this is the best way to keep it.
I like this one. This is a good
Here's your chance to sit on it. Take a gaze at it before you sit it. You got to look at that interior. Sit it, take the mask off, and you show the smile. It's going to touch the foot pedal. It's on some sort of a pump that makes a noise like that.
Oh, really?
If y'all want to have a seat, if you're young, if you want to take a picture, just take the mask off for a second, let us see the Shelby smile.
Yeah,
Look at that. Yeah, Pitt's got nothing on you.
That is beautiful. Look at that.
That's so nice.
We had one lady, she made the noise. Oh, yes.
You want to get into it?
Oh, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll take a photo of you. I like the rims.
I like that color.
Wide body, take the mask off.
I like the color with those wheels. The combination's really cool.
Combo,
Yeah, I like these.
beautiful. Is everybody sat in it?
I gotta be good.
Because we're going to put y'all into the UT in a minute.
Oh, wow. This thing is crazy. Yeah, hopefully I'm
You want me to?
getting framed in there.
There you go.
Oh, nice. See the whole
Yeah.
car like that.
All right, got it.
Feels great, looks great.
I like the steering wheel, man. It's girthy. I like how it's like such a big, thick steering wheel.
Everybody got in this one?
Yep. Yeah,
Beautiful. Now it's time for y'all to say, hell yeah, you're from Texas.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Raptor.
That's a badass spec. I like the grill on that.
Wow.
That is cool.
Got lights in the bottom.
Oh yeah.
Bottom, front, top. Alright, and the paddle shift.
How much is this? I don't, I'm going to say I'm within 10%. I was told we would let it go when we do decide to sell it for $100,000. Wow. 30,000 is a budget. Anybody else want to have a seat?
It's like a tank. The leather feels so nice.
Yeah.
The carbon fiber, it's not real, huh? It is real.
And how old are your sons? How old are they? 22 or 32? So this will be bias here.
So there, that's like a stock. That's what it's coming in as, and it's gonna come out different.
Get cleaned up.
Ooh, what is that back there?
That was
Is
from
that
the
an
movie.
Aston Martin?
Yeah, it's from the movie, and it's not an Aston Martin. It's a look-to-be Aston Martin. It's Hollywood at its best.
Huh.
Everybody's had their moment in this.
I'll check it out.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a. So that's from the movie.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in just a moment.
Oh wow! Look at this. Look at this. Wow. Very cool. Very cool.
Okay.
It's got like carbon. Very cool. Another nice, good steering wheel. Big steering wheel. This thing is great. Oh, that. Whoa, that's cool. The step went up.
James Bond like that. Swing around this way and see this dirty car. What the heck's a dirty car like this doing the Shelby American? Well, I'm pretty confident you've seen the movie Ford versus Ferrari.
Oh, yeah.
It has a brilliant beginning. Shelby pulls into the pits at Le Mans sometime around midnight, catches fire. They put the fire out, and he goes out and wins the race. He's in an Aston Martin. Now, Matt Damon is in this vehicle right here. He pulls in and does this great Shelby. Now, is this an Aston Martin? Only on the outside. Underneath it is a Mazda Miata.
Wow.
All of those cars in the movie were Mazdas that they beefed up, twin turbos, they put different things to them. Wasn't it a brilliant movie? You're in France watching this race, aren't you? No, you're in Georgia. That's where it's filmed. Road Atlanta near Brazos.
Okay.
And give those guys great credit. They said, we don't need it. If you want to let it be there, fine. But do not take the Hollywood dirt off. So we won't.
So it's got original dirt.
Yeah, OD, original dirt. This is a fun section right here.
So this is from the movie Ford versus Ferrari. Let's go catch back up.
All these parts, I saw the vehicle that they came in on 07 Shelby GT. They beefed it up. That baby, here's the standard. It's got to look better than brand new when it leaves here.
Wow.
Now it does, we're going to see a 14, but we had an 07 here. It's gone now, it's here earlier. You looked at that thing, it's like, how in the world can that thing be 14 years old?
Yeah.
It looked better. Now the style was a 14-year-old style, but you look at the vehicle, no way. These parts came off of it.
So what do you guys do with the parts?
The customer in this particular situation would probably get them back. You can see a lot of other parts over here. When they come off, the hoods, things of that nature, we have a relationship with eBay. eBay's going to pick them up and they'll get in touch with Summit American Muscles. So we'll have a happy meeting. They're not going to get thrown away. eBay to the rescue.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anybody
Brakes.
The hoods.
Wow.
Here's where the muscle is damaged. Good.
Yeah. Pretty good. Oh.
Man, it's a parts graveyard over here, man. This is
They're
crazy.
not going to die, but it's definitely a parts holding area.
Yeah.
Now, if you look back there where it says Ford Performance, that's Vince LaVioletta's section. He's our chief design person, chief test driver, fabricator, race driver, does whatever needs to be done. He's been with the company 23 years. You see those two hoists back there? Him, Ford, and Jack Roush all are working on something. Each of them's going to approach it from a different angle. He works on his clay model, he works on his computer, takes the part there, puts it on, takes it to the track. If it does work, Ford says yes, Ford's going to put it on their vehicle. And you see where that red Cobra is? That's Tony Emmert's Cobra section. We do some Cobra work here. Over here where this blue hoist is, that is our dyno. Occasionally we'll hit 1,250 horsepower dynoing. When we hit 1,250 horsepower dynoing, it's mandatory. Everybody goes to the dentist the next day to get their fillings put back in. But it is going to shake up your mouth. It's an incredible sensation. We do it rarely, but when we do it, everybody knows it.
You can feel it, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, you can only hold it for just so long.
Yeah.
1,250 horsepower is not something you can hold for your mouth.
Double,
That'd be crazy,
triple
1250.
earplugs, yeah.
That's right. Yeah, that's If you look back where it says Ford Performance, that's where we have all the tune information at. Derek's got his shop back there. Plus Derek runs the holding facility across the road, the warehouse over there. And we have a gentleman that works here. His father's a great Hollywood actor. Maybe you've seen some of his movies. Godzilla, well, of course, his son's name is Rodzilla. Rodzilla picks up these tires and tosses them around like Tokyo gets torn up by Godzilla. He does brilliant work, puts the new rims on. We have our own special tires. Over here is where we just recently designed on these vehicles right here. It's pretty. Look at how wide this one is.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
God, I just hate that that wide body's gone. Now, this is a pretty wide body back here.
I like the width of these seats.
Just take a look at this one. You're pretty lucky. I'll let you do your camera however you want to, but this is it. This is about the ultimates right here. We're at the pre-delivery inspection station. He's gone. Dennis is. He's pretty much the king back here. If it doesn't need his.
It's okay if I go over that way, or
Pardon me?
it's okay if I go around it, or is that off limit area?
Probably not. Yes, sir.
Oh, the seats are Recaro?
Wow, look at that wide body, man. Look at that wide body.
The roll cage.
Just like that rear wheel's poking hard,
Goes
dude.
back to the 70s. It's an additional way to hold it with it.
Oh, just like what they have like
69 and 70 Mach 1s and 69 had the 10s and 70 had the wings. You see how the front end is different here? I think minutes ago, wasn't this the one that came in?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was. What's this one? This black one there? That 1,000.
This is our Shelby Texas 1000. When you go 1,000 horsepower, it's going to be more, probably 1,200. You better be sure that's what you want, because you're saying the rest of your life 110 octane, 4 miles to the gallon. You have to burn the race. How much was this car go?
Is it manual or?
Man, 150 grand.
I'm going to say no more than 150. I want to say 135. But just estimate.
Automatic or manual?
I don't know. I want to say it's the.
That's gotta be a paddles.
And look at the nose of this one. See how this front end is here?
Oh wow.
Lock off. And when you come over here and look at this one, you can see the difference very clearly.
Yeah.
And now this is the original one. This is the GT that comes in. See how this nose is. Come down here, look how the lighting is different. This is a pre-delivery inspection. Every little blemish or whatever is going to come out. Dennis sees it. Dennis says no or yes. He says yes. You're going to see that decal in the rear window there.
Yeah.
Now that's got 4 different sections on it, like it is on that one right there.
Oh, yeah.
Each of them's got to be checked off to be inspected. Now let's look at this black one over here for a second. Why do we look at this black one? I do not think I've ever been faster in my life than I was when I was in this car about a month ago. 142 miles an hour out at Speed Vegas. Our president, Gary Patterson, was doing some testing. I got to go along with that. When you do 142 miles an hour before you go to work, it's going to be a great day. You don't need coffee.
Yeah, you don't.
Well, you could go home comfortable, sleep, and have
This is one of
the
our
best night's
prototypes.
sleep
We have
ever.
3 prototype vehicles. One next to the prototype. Well, we got a few from Ford. They said, do with it what you want, make the modifications, but it cannot be resold because of all the modifications.
Oh.
So it's going to have to go back to Ford or something very special on his sales. I'm not sure it's been titled yet.
Prototype vehicle.
Now we'll come down this way. That's pretty much it. Let y'all see a wide body that's just about finished.
Look at this one.
You see, you have to make it really ugly before you can make it pretty. Yep. Door's going to be completely changed. What are the special?
Completely gutted in there.
It's just the option
These
you can
wheels.
add them out of. We do that here.
The brakes on this one.
They are big.
Big old wide body. This thing is crazy. Oh, this is the one that was in the Shmee video I saw the other day. Because I remember I saw the gas cap like that. This is cool. Look how wide that is. Man. That is a big difference, like, on the width. Is that like
When
two?
you back it into a trailer, you got about this much space on each side.
Was that 2 inches wider on both
I'm
sides?
going to be videoed. I want to brag on these guys over here. This is our paint and body guys. They do brilliant work. Tedious, disciplined work. There's a certain amount of, I don't believe I'm doing this, but I'm going to do it my best, watching paint dry. They do a brilliant job of it. And they got about 6 of them back there. We got 5 different stations where we bake the paint or whatever. Their work is above brilliant and closer to flawless. That's 6 of them. They do absolutely. I just can't brag on them. So now, YouTubers, when you say Shelby and Cobra, you say Ford, don't you?
Yep.
When you say Shelby and Chrysler, you say Viper, don't you? When you say Shelby and Oldsmobile, what do you say? What was I thinking? Come down this way, please.
Oh, wow. Oh, you got here.
Series 1.
Yeah, Series 1.
Collaboration 1999, 2003 between Ford and Oldsmobile that did not work out. It was expected to be, no way it'll be a loser. From the ground up, it's all Shelby's design. Very early carbon fiber. The engine's the 4.0 Aurora engine that was just doing wonders at Indianapolis. The 4.0 Aurora's got 340 non-aspirated. When you put the supercharged on it, closer to 500. Lots and lots of parts from the Corvette parts bin. It was expected to be a winner. Right off the bat, it did not work out. Production issues, Oldsmobile goes away, and Shelby gets stuck with 249 of them.
Wow.
Once the bugs got worked out, and I believe this was Mr. Shelby's, and we get the first of any series. I believe this was his. Once the bugs got worked out, if you put 2 of these, 2 Ferraris, 2 Porsches, 6 events, this would win 2 of them. Now we'll step up this way and let this car go by us.
Man, look at that Jeep.
You guys, yes sir. That's our vice president.
That's a nice Jeep. It's got the winch on the front. It's mean.
He's got more, man, he's got more than Carter's got a liver pill as far as cars. He loves cars. Now, trucks and everything we've already seen. I bragged on these guys. We're going to get to see our upholstery section.
Oh, whoa. So they. So that's the before seats. And that one's they do the embroidering and put all the padding in there. That's amazing. Ooh. What's up with this? What's up with this blue Mustang there? It's like their test vehicle.
The reason we're at the furniture store in the mid-90s when Shelby comes here, Shelby looked for talent everywhere. I wasn't there with decisions, man. I never met Mr. Shelby. It's a smart move. I've always strongly agreed with this. There's a huge amount of talent in prison. There's a low violent prison, if that's the right word, on the other side of town. Shelby has a project for those guys. He lets them do lots and lots of the fiberglass work. He pays them well, and that's some of the stuff they did. They did some of the cars, and those cushions right there, those seats without the cushions. We might have sat in 2 of them.
Yeah, we did.
Some of those guys worked for Shelby for many years, one still does. Shelby can find talent on those people.
That's nice.
Now we'll come down this way. great 45-minute car wash finishes with a 45-minute car wash.
Can I wash my truck real quick?
Filtered.
I need to wash my truck. Cars and
The
coffee.
greatest benefit working for Shelby for me is get to wash my car as many times as I want.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I got 2 questions to ask y'all. Any technical questions about what we do back here that maybe I could answer?
How many cars do you do in a year?
150 cars, 300 trucks is the estimate we have now for 2021.
Okay.
What's the average price? There isn't.
You could just go nuts with it.
Pardon me?
Or you could just go nuts with it as long as you got the money.
Yeah. Now there's a price range, but say an average.
Yeah, what's the price range?
I'm going to say 130 for the super truck, 95 to 100 for that, someplace between 100 and 120,000 for the super size.
Jeez.
So that's include the vehicle.
That's the kit and the caboodle.
Now, how many of these trucks are there?
Well, I don't know how many there are, but we plan on making 300 trucks this year.
Okay.
Approximately. She does brilliant work. Some of the other guys have just recently graduated from. On the other side, where it says Kenny Bell, there's the Shelby Institute for Technology. We'll get their honored grad. He'll be on a internship, you might say. If it works out, he'll be your permanent. We do have a young guy. He looks like he's 17, can't believe he's 27.
Yeah.
He's been working on all the trucks.
That's cool.
Wow, good for him. That's awesome.
So you don't really need to have a full automotive education as long as you got experience.
On your interview.
Yeah.
Just really good interviewing.
And of course, the more qualifications you
Portfolio just gotta be out of this world, probably.
have. I won't say that. We got young, we got old, we got a little bit of everything. But once you're here, usually stay. It's a pretty good place.
Hot shit.
I wouldn't want to leave. I'll live here and die here, dude. It's
So if
amazing.
that's your expectations, we put you on the door, you can find all you like back there. Thank y'all for coming in. You should have bags.
Yeah, that's pretty much a tour of the museum here. It's pretty cool. Guess the tour is definitely worth 50, 60 bucks. You get to see all the stuff in the back. Oh, there we go. So, hopefully I'm framed in there. Yeah, that was the Shelby American Museum out here in Las Vegas. So that was really fun. Definitely that was worth the 60 bucks for the actual tour. Tour is amazing. If you think that's too expensive to go on the tour, oh, you're wrong, man. It is. You'll see a lot of cool stuff back there. Putting together like Shelby's. There's some Raptors in there. They're pretty badass. We're gonna come back here on Saturday and check out the car show. They said there's gonna be like 200 cars here, so we're gonna check that out. Hope everybody enjoys the video. Hit that like button, subscribe. Also, throw me a comment, and yeah, make sure you hit that notification bell, because then you're gonna get notified when I'm gonna make another video. And yeah, everybody take it easy.